Good morning and welcome to the Real Prosperity Project. My name is Tanisha Teering and this is,
Charlene Reedman. Hello, hello. Gosh, Tanisha, it's been a hot minute since we've done our podcast.
yeah, how did time fly by like that? I don't know.
Yeah,
We've we've had some ups and downs and all arounds this last I don't even know how long it's been since we've been on here, but
been way too
it's
long.
way too long, exactly. So, I'm just going to introduce our podcast for those of you that are new listeners. We are the Real Prosperity Project, and we talk about prosperity in all areas of life. Prosperity encompasses more than just financial success, it includes emotional, physical, social, and spiritual well being. And we are here to share our life experiences, lessons learned, challenges we've overcome, and moments of triumph. We're excited to share this journey with you to help support you in cultivating an attitude of belief, to foster abundance and growth in your daily life. And this is to help develop a mindset of prosperity that not only benefits you, but it inspires those around you. And that is why we're here, and that is why we're back.
Yeah. And as you're reading our mission statement, Tanisha, it made me think of this is ongoing. It's an ongoing process because does life happen or does life happen?
Right?
Yeah. And it's really, really easy to get off track. So it's the slight edge curve. You can go like 1% better every day on upward trajectory, or you can take the other curve, which is the doom and gloom.
The doom and gloom. Well, we had, you know what? That's so true. And Steve Holbrook, our senior partner, if you don't follow him on social media, by the way, Holbrook's World, follow him. Instagram, he's incredible. But he said just the other day in one of our meetings that, it's that 1% better and celebrate that. Like you said, it's that slight edge. If you get up 15 minutes early, celebrate that. If you go to the gym for 5 extra minutes, celebrate that. These are the wins in your life that you need to be celebrating because nobody else is going to celebrate you.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so easy to go down the other path of um, well, looking at the negative parts of life. I don't know why it's so much easier to look at that, right?
Yeah, it
What did
is.
we do wrong? How come, how come we didn't do our podcast for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks, beat ourselves up over it, um, right? Instead of going, hey, you know what? Actually, we've been really freaking busy. So we went to Edmonton um, just a few weeks ago and immersed ourselves with 600-700 other like-minded people and came out fired up. I went one way, Tanisha went another way, and life got really super busy that we just couldn't match our calendars up. So here we are, we beating ourselves up over it. Or
Or we can be happy that we're back. We're back to the routine. And you know what, Shar? You say that we went one way and we went another, but what you're not expressing is how amazing our last couple of weeks were.
what?
So we went to Edmonton and we immersed ourselves in the environment that we love with these like-minded individuals, people that are driven and want personal development and growth and just, we uplifted our spirits. We took that time and that initiative to take that time for ourselves and it was an incredible weekend.
Yeah, it was.
It was so great. We got to laugh, we got to cry. I shook my dear little Angeli, she got to dance on stage in front of all those people
Oh yeah.
and party and get out her comfort zone and it was so fun. We had a great time. And then Charlene, she's like, "Oh, it ain't no thing. I just, I went a different direction." But what did you do, Char?
Well, I did go in a totally different direction. I got on a plane and I headed off to Costa Rica for 2.5 weeks. Yeah,
Oh, no big deal. I just
no
went
big
and
deal.
sat in the sun and
Yeah,
ran my business from a different country. No big
no
deal.
big deal. No big deal. Um, yeah, and then the time difference between Costa Rica and where Tanisha was, it was like, well, I'm going to the beach now, so bye.
And I was like, I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. Bye.
Yeah, exactly,
Have
exactly.
fun.
Yeah, but we wanted to get back on here, touch base with everybody, and we got some amazing things planned in the coming weeks. We're building up some more amazing guest speakers, and just people from all different areas of life and different businesses, different not even just businesses, but just different lives. Period.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, and you know what? I think we really need to, over the next coming weeks, when we're doing our podcast here, we need to really talk about important things that are happening, and we need to get down to some nitty-gritty and some controversial subjects and things like that. I really think that our audience is craving real, authentic talk, and I really believe that that's the direction we need to go, is really being authentic to what's going on, and looking at the positive and the prosperity in what's happening, because the news and social media is so negative, and just because so and so is running for this political position or whatever doesn't mean that it has to be a negative outlook. It doesn't mean that, some bad things aren't going to happen, but we can't find the positive in it. And I think that's a direction we want to go, is talk about some real life things and how we can find the upside.
Yeah, that makes me think back to Bob Proctor, who was actually one of my aha moments back in 2015, that he made me realize we have the choice of what we allow into our conscious, into our
Hmm.
brain. So we can decide, we have the choice to decide if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. And the other big thing that I took away from his mentorship was we have the ability to create our own economy. So that sit with you for a minute. So we have the ability to create our own economy. What does that look like? Do we listen to the, like Tanisha said, the negatives, the doom and gloom, or do we step up and make a change for ourselves and our family? Just
Yeah.
saying, it's an idea.
I personally have been going through so much growth over the last couple of weeks. And I just feel like I'm at this really amazing, comfortable place where, despite all of that negativity, I know for a fact that on the other side of it, there's going to be such an amazing growth for our civilization and society as we know it, that but it reminds me of that saying, like, without the rain, we can't have the rainbows,
Right.
right? So we have to go through this rain to have those rainbows, but we also need to work on ourselves during that, like, don't allow, like Shar said, that negative to set in. We can still grow ourselves and our families' lives and stand in that positive light, um, and just try to be open-minded.
That's the big one, being open-minded. You gotta look at all, like if somebody approaches you with an opportunity, and you're like have that tunnel vision, you could have just missed out on your perfect opportunity, whatever that might be, right? But if you expand it just a little bit and then make an educated decision, is it for you, is it
Hmm.
not? Is this the path, or is it not the path?
Yeah. And follow your intuition when those moments come up. Like, I recently had the opportunity to make a really tough decision. Um, and I have spent many years growing my intuition and learning to listen to it. And when you have that, you just simply have to ask the question and you'll intuitively know the answer, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Just for an example, I'm seeing a lot on social media platforms that people can't find a job.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy. Like even up here where I live, which I've never seen anybody ever have an issue getting a job. And people are like, I've been sending out resumes, been going to here, going to there, um, and they're just struggling finding work.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe now is a time to step into something different, like where again I go back to, hey, how can I create my own economy?
Yeah. It's that level of creation. And just to play devil's advocate, though, you know, I've experienced lots of interviews in recent days of people that are looking for jobs, and not a lot of them are actually willing to work.
That's right. There's that too. Because
So just to play devil's advocate on that one.
yeah, well, we're such a society of, go to school and go get second degree education and then get a job. But they're pushing, hundreds of people into one program and then 100 people graduate and there's only like so many jobs. So what are you going to do to stand up and advocate for your family to make a difference and still pursue that career? But maybe now's the time people need to start looking into side hustles, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's that instant gratification culture. I'm actually listening to a book right now, called Oh, sorry about that. I forgot to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb, but um, it's that instant gratification society that we're in right now. And I'm listening to a book called Say More and Communicate, or Say Less and Communicate More. So it's all about communication styles and learning all of them so that you can adjust your own communication style to another one. But in that, she goes, we're in the era of 30-second gratification, where if you can't get your point across in less than 90 seconds, I think she said, people lose you and they're gone.
Yeah, they're scrolling.
They're scrolling. And it's not just in the scroll, it's in real face-to-face life. They're like, get to the freaking point, stop talking, stop yapping. I just want the goods. And our brains are becoming trained. And so that's the same when the jobs, right? Is people are in this like instant gratification mode where they need something right now. Whereas that's just not the way things work when you're building something.
Yeah.
It can take
Well,
years.
and that's the big thing too. Like, actually, what's come up over the last few months is, I think, well, this isn't just last few months. I mean, it's going on for years and years and years. But people want that get rich quick,
Yeah.
and that, unfortunately, if it's a get rich quick, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. And
There's no get rich quick.
yeah. Well, and you know what I think it is I think it's the illusion of get rich quick, because on social media, it's people going, "Oh my God, I started this new whatever, and look at me, I'm making $10,000 a month and I'm going on these trips and I'm doing this." But what they're not sharing with people is what it took for them to get there.
This is
The
true.
2 to 3 years of grind and that hard work and that effort that they put in, they're just
Yeah.
going, "Look at me, I made it."
Yeah. They're not showing all the behind the scenes.
So people are looking at these people that they idolize and they're saying, I want to be like that. I want to make 10 grand a month. I want to go on trips. I want to do that. But they're not willing to do what that other person did to get there. And that's that what is it? If you want to be one of the 1%, you have to be willing to do what 99% of people aren't.
Exactly.
Right? And that's the thing is people are getting that instant gratification. They're looking online, they're seeing all of these beautiful things happening, but they're not willing to put the work in to get there.
Yeah, you nailed that one on the head.
Yeah. It's late nights, it's early mornings, I'm going to actually share this with you guys because you guys are probably going to follow along in this journey as my face gets a little bit slimmer and I feel a little bit more energetic and I start doing woo-woos on the podcast more. I'm on day 2 of the 75 hard challenge. You can see my poster right there in the background, my little checklist as I leave my bedroom and come to bed. I get to check. It's right where I have to walk every single day.
That's awesome.
So that is called discipline because I have a goal I want to obtain, which is feeling healthier, having more energy, and getting rid of brain fog. Well, how am I going to do that? It's called discipline. It's called work. It's doing something that most people aren't willing to do because they're not willing to give up their habits for 75 days.
Yeah.
And create new ones. And that's that same thing. So listeners, follow along. I'll share every week what I've experienced and how much change has happened. And when we'll put that as part of our journey here.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't heard about 75 Hard, this is a program created by a fellow by the name of Andy Frisella. He is amazing. Like, again, if you went on Instagram today, you'd be like, oh, he's amazing. You know, look at him. He's got all of this, right? But if you actually dug deep into his story, it wasn't always like that. Like, you know,
Exactly.
he was broker than broke. Like, he was couch surfing while he was trying to build his business. But the crazy thing with Andy, he created this 75 Hard, not about, it was nothing about losing weight or whatever. It's about your mental fitness, because that's what 75 Hard is. It's about the mental fitness. So if Tanisha's doing 75 Hard and she misses a day, she actually has to reset her 75 days.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many people are willing to do that? Like, I've tried the 75 Hard a few years ago, and yeah, like, I wasn't willing to follow through with it. I'm just gonna be totally honest with you guys. You know, I made it so many days and then I fell off the 75 Hard wagon, and I'm like, oh, I have to start it over. Right? But it
Yeah.
is, he does that, and he has a podcast, and I recommend everybody to follow it. But he said this is about mental clarity, mental strength.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I don't care what diet program you follow or blah, 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 but it's about being that discipline, like Tanisha said. And if you fall off it, you have to reset and start from day one.
Yeah. And you know what? The first time I tried this, I fell off at day 6 and I had to restart. I fell off at day 26 and I had to restart. And then I made it to day 60 and then I quit.
But day 60 is amazing.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, you guys, you got to be like, okay, I made it 6 days. Awesome. I made it 26 days. Wow. 60 days? That's amazing.
Yeah. So this time I'm going to make it the full 75. And let me tell you, I have a buddy in this. And yesterday I laughed so hard because I said, okay, well, I can quit my wine in the evening. I've done that a million times. That's easy. I can quit my my other habits like sugar and things like that, and I'll just stick to a natural whole food diet, right? So still get to eat everything, just cut out the processed crap. That'll be good. I'm like, I told him, I said, I'm not committing to going outside for my 45-minute workout though. I said, because I live in the north and it can get nasty here. And he's like, Tanisha, he's like, that's not an excuse. I don't accept that. He's like, no, 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 no. He's like, I could care less what the weather is outside. This isn't 75 easy. This is 75 hard. Get your ass outside with an umbrella.
But that's what Andy says. It's like there's no, you can't go make up your own variations. It's you work out inside once a day and at least once outside a day. Or you can
Yeah.
do 2 times a day outside. It doesn't matter. But he's like, this is the rules. This is like there's no variation. It's twice a day,
No.
in and or out. So
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe I need to send you that podcast, Tanisha.
Yes, yeah. And you know what? The only thing that I did alter a little bit is I once in a while I was in a couple car accidents. So I do have pain medication. And basically what it is you're not supposed to take any mind altering substances like alcohol, cannabis, that kind of stuff. You're supposed to stay away from that for that clarity. And so I did make a deal with my partner that on occasion, if I need to, I will be taking a Tylenol or an Advil or whatever I need to get through the evening, um, just because I have to sometimes. But I will try my very hardest to not, you know. Um, and I even had to quit coffee because
Yeah.
that was a challenge between him and I. That wasn't actually part of it. That was just a
Part of
challenge
it. So
between
you
him and
guys,
I.
well, disclaimer, you keep drinking your coffee.
You can keep drinking your coffee, but I really wanted to challenge myself, and so I'm gonna try for the first 4 days to quit caffeine or coffee, not caffeine, coffee, and see if I can do it. And if not, then I'll restart day one and I'll add coffee back in. But I'm gonna try it because it takes extreme discipline to get rid of those things, and it's not that I have to, it's that I want to test myself. Because when I learn that discipline and I can see how I can take those things out, it will help impact other areas of my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Okay, well, I'll send you that episode of Andy's 75-day hard.
Thank you. I'll listen to it today while I
Yeah.
go for my 45-minute walk.
Yeah. Oh, outside?
Oh, outside, yes. And you know what? My pickle dog, he's very happy about this.
Yeah, he needs to be on the 75-day hard for sure.
Oh, he's a chunky boy. Yeah, he's excited about this. I don't know where he is. Oh, he's outside right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's already on it.
He's already doing it. He's gonna do 75 hard twice a day.
Poor little guy. Yeah. But yeah, we got some exciting stuff coming up. We just want to jump on and get us back into action because yeah, we definitely fell off the wagon of our podcast, but we are back. We're excited to be back, and thank you for listening.
Yeah, and I really appreciate all of you tuning in. You know what? I really want to ask you, the audience, what you want to hear. So if you could like put in our comments or like send us an email, all our contact information is on our social media. Charlene Reedman, Tanisha Tearing, you can reach out. We have platforms all across the board, including this new Threads thing I'm trying to figure out. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh,
Anybody can help us with that one?
yeah, we're open. But what I want to hear from you guys is what subjects do you want us to talk about? You know, like, is there something that you want us to cover? Controversial or not, like, we'll cover it. I really think that Charlene and I have a great dynamic where we can, you know, laugh back and forth and have different opinions. And I feel like we should be covering something that our audience wants to hear. So let us know, somehow reach out to us, and let us know what you want to hear about.
Yeah, maybe I can get a hold of Andy Frisella and see if he'll come on our podcast. Wouldn't that be a fucking goal? Sorry, I swore.
Ooh, Charlene's filter's getting turned off.
Well, this is how Andy talks. So I just went to Andy mode. He does not have a filter. So sorry, everybody.
Just FYI, this is not for children. We do
Yeah.
swear. We are real here. We're authentic. It will come. So if you want your kids to not hear swear words, listen to it when they're not around.
Exactly. Sorry. He gets me excited. He's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, that's I think that's about all I have for today, Tanisha. Just wanted to reconnect with everybody, get us back on track. Um, this is part of holding each other accountable. And it's been a great past few weeks. We have been productive, and we have been out doing the do. We just didn't put this as a priority, and that's the thing. What's a priority, right?
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
for some
maybe that's what
reason,
we'll talk about next
yeah,
week is
we
some
just
priorities.
yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And uh we will be back next week.
yeah. Yay!
Bye.
Bye.